Dome Sports Talk, worldwide, with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, we got a little Joseph Parker news, right? We got a little Joseph Parker news. Before we go there, you know, we've had another mass shooting, right? I'm pretty sure everybody heard about it. I'm sure we're all going to offer our condolences and everything. But things have to be changed, right? They just have to. And I just want to say, go ahead on Steve Kerr. Now, somebody probably say, I'm watching the Joseph Parker video. Who the hell is Steve Kerr? Well, Steve Kerr happens to be the trainer, the coach from the Golden State Warriors. And at the press conference, he went in on what really is the problem about, we have senators that basically turn their back on voting so we can have some gun laws and background checks for people that's getting guns, because the shooter, let's be honest, is 18 years old. And we always talk around it, but just make sure this is clear. When Trump got into office, it was a 13-year-old kid who grew up hearing stolen elections, you take up arms, they need to go get out, all of that stuff. So for the last 5 years, there you have it, right? That's what happens, because let's make sure it's clear. It was the president saying those things from their perspective. So then you have senators who have refused to rebuke these things. So basically they have embraced white supremacy. So when you have that, it's just, that element, so they won't even vote on no damn gun laws. Everybody's supposed to take up arms. So you have those things, and they continue to happen, and you keep talking around it and moving on. But these are kids. Kids should not be that upset at 18. He's supposed to be talking about, I just finished the prom, and the girl I was with was fine as hell. I'm still trying to get some. Hey man, I drank how many beers I drank the other night when I was at the party. Whatever. Well, nowadays, whatever. Who knows how they meet? It's probably virtual. But or whatever you're going to do. Write somebody on one of them Instagrams or something. Whatever. But you're supposed to be having fun, right? You shouldn't be upset that much. And we have people 16, 14-year-olds that are also doing things the world over. So it is an issue. But the shootings and the getting, automatic weapons. Who the hell needs an automatic weapon? You know what I mean? Who the hell needs an automatic weapon? Rambo? Or the dude that Rambo shooting back at him? Mob bosses and shit and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Who the hell needs a weapon that goes duh? Not even a hunter needs a weapon that goes duh. Because it ain't fair. If you're damn shooting at the buffalo, you missed him, then let the man run off. Fair is fair. You don't need no damn machine gun for that either. It's ridiculous. Probably shouldn't even be making them, let alone having kids being able to get them without background checks. Right? If that's not an issue, then we're not on planet Earth. Right? So that's why good. Hail Steve Kerr for saying something. It's a trainer, and I hate to be honest, a white man who speaks on what's really going on, because our Congress is an issue. They're having issues to even basically have something against treason, as what happened to our Capitol on January 6, 2021. So that's still an issue. They're not coming up, man, but that was bad. They was going to kill the vice president and the Speaker of the House. We rebuked that. That's not happening. So therefore, a guy that's 13, trying to impress, getting upset about things, hormones and stuff growing and puberty going on, and he hates somebody because that's what everybody else around him is doing, right? Then you have that. And if a president is starting it, then that's easy to happen. And we know it. So we're going to have to meet at the rule of law. Like I talk about. We can have your differences. If you grow up and everybody's racist, then what else you going to be? You know what I mean? Because even if you're not, you're going to get beat up. So you gotta play racist for a while, or whatever else you were going to be. Right? It's hard if that's what your environment is telling you to do. Especially when you're young and impressionable. So those things happen. So you have to get to the core of the problem. You can't talk around it. We can't have people in power that are not ready to enforce the law. If we're not meeting there, then we have a problem. Because everywhere we look with people of power, no matter what, it could even be religious groups. Them Catholics can't keep their hands from the children, can they? Right? Pastors don't watch your wife. Right? Well, you know, so people, why do you think there's so many atheists going on? Y'all ain't acting up, so they can't go there. Our policemen can't act right. We need another police force for the policemen because they just don't act right. We know it. And it just don't act right. If you really do your investigations, you know what I'm saying? So where do you turn? You see what I'm saying? So it's just ridiculous. It's a whole big thing, but you have to talk about it because if not, we're going to be doing condolences every few hours because these kids have been radicalized. You know what I'm saying? So the kid's going to do it's other things too, but we don't want to go into that. Let's go into shoop way on the other side. You know, New Zealand. They probably like, man, hey, wait a minute, man. Who the hell is Steve Kerr? Right? Who the hell is Steve Kerr? He ain't even on the All Blacks. So we don't care about it. Just joking, y'all. Listen, Joseph Parker, everybody know I roll with Joe. I like me some Joseph Parker, period. I was just watching him, you know, young fighter coming up, and he surprised me early on, and he was in some tough fights way back, Dimitrenko and them, Carlos Takam and all that, you know. Follow him through Huey Fury, barely winning that fight. You know, barely winning the fight against Andy Ruiz. Getting cheated in Britain with both of them, Joshua and Dillian White. Cheated, you know, but it's all right. You know, but he's a good fighter and good fights. Seems to be coming back on the comeback trail. But, you know, you ain't going to stay young forever. You're getting older. You got to do things. Joseph Parker and Joyce was going to fight for this interim WBO thing. Sort of, you know, who's number one and who's going to get the first shot, right? Now, Joyce ready to go. Joseph Parker can't make it because his trainer ain't going to be ready because they're going to be expecting a baby. So they got to move the fight from July, whatever it was, the beginning of July, all the way to sometime in September, right? And Joseph Parker because of the trainer. Now, I'm going to note, I roll with Joe, but this is a perfect opportunity to show you this one I ain't with him, right? And we got a dude going to New Zealand, not New Zealand, but Australia, lightweight champion in Devin Haney, little young man, going without his daddy and his trainer. Just got anybody over there. Going for an undisputed fight against Cambosis, and they about ready to cheat him anyway because they didn't want him to have it. And I ain't talking about Australians. Them ain't the ones who want to cheat him really bad. They'll be fair. It's them Americans over there that don't want Devin Haney to win the lightweight championship because they know the shenanigans are going to stop in the lightweight division because everybody would have to come see him. That's not what they want. Not on American soil. But he's going over there. He ain't say, let me stop the fight. It's an undisputed fight. I'm way over here, and I ain't got nobody with me. He's going to make it happen because he better make it happen. Got to do something like that. And as far as Joseph Parker, he's not, it's out of sight, out of mind. I know he's a good fighter, right? So that's why I would like him to be a little bit more active. Joyce is a hard cookie. Because, you know, it's like whoever going to win, that's 50-50 fight. Some people probably have Joyce. The ones that don't know how good Joseph Parker is and don't really kind of pay attention of the fights, you know. I just like him, so I do. So I got Joseph Parker with about a 60-40, even against Joyce, because Joseph Parker can get on that bike and stick and move if he has to, because Joyce gonna be coming, right? And then he should keep catching him, but you ain't knocking him out. So Joseph Parker gonna have to probably beat him on points. If Joseph Parker knocked out Joyce, that would be huge. But the bottom line is the fight ain't happening because Joseph Parker ain't got no trainer, right? And I think Joseph Parker be like, I don't give a damn, somebody coming in here. Somebody coming in here and help me to get that fight when it happens. Because the issue is like, whatever people like, man, come on, man, 2 or 3 months? Whatever. You know, people get injured all the time. Got it. Right? But still, I think you could fight. Because what's going to happen is Joyce is going to have an interim fight. I think who's his promoter? Is it Frank Warren? I think I was reading something. Frank Warren, I think, said that whoever his promoter is like they think they're looking for somebody right now for an interim fight. Now, we be thinking all these little fights, all these people that just come in and they supposed to get beat real quick. Hey man, you can get cut, shoot all the while and cut the hell out of Fury. Almost messed them up for a fight. There's ones that's coming randomly. People that we just didn't really have a chance or a shot in a fight, come back and do a little damage or whatever, or Joyce injures himself in the fight, trying to knock the other dude's head off. Then what do we got then? You see what I'm saying? That's why, you know, I think you supposed to have took that one, Joe. But we'll see what happens. As of right now, that fight has been moved back 2 months, sometime in September. I don't know the exact date, but who cares? It's in September. We got time to talk about it. So Joseph, man, you know, you got to get you a couple of other trainers for something like that. Something like that could possibly happen. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we'll talk to y'all. Doma Sports Talk worldwide, and I'm about